Ever think about what goes into making a bar of soap? Like, really think about it.
You mean besides getting covered in suds?
Huh. Well, yeah. Though we might be surprised by how much more there is to it. We're diving into the world of soap tower operators today.
Soap tower operator, that sounds intriguing, almost like something out of Willy Wonka, but probably a lot more technical.
Way more technical. And that's why we're here, right? We've been digging through some really cool data from RoleCatcher.
Yeah, RoleCatcher, it's that AI-powered job platform, right?
The one and only. It really breaks down the ins and outs of different careers, and for this one, it's seriously eye-opening.
Okay, you got me hooked. What does a soap tower operator even do?
So picture this. A massive system of towers, pipes, valves, basically a supersized industrial-scale soap-making machine.
Okay, I'm picturing something out of a sci-fi movie now.
Not far off, actually. The soap tower operator is the one running the show. We're talking control panels, real-time monitoring of the whole process. It's a lot more high-tech than you might imagine.
Really, I have to admit, I always imagined it as a pretty hands-on, old-school kind of job.
There's definitely some of that, but at the heart of it, it's about precision and making sure everything's working just right, and that takes serious tech.
So walk me through a typical day for a soap tower operator. What are they actually doing?
Their day often starts with a thorough inspection of the equipment. Got to make sure everything's in tip-top shape before the soap-making magic happens.
Makes sense. You don't want any soap explosions.
Mhm.
But after the checkup, what's next?
Then they'll review the production schedule because different soaps might have, different recipes or requirements.
Ah, right. Like different scents or ingredients. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal.
Exactly. But once the soap making's in motion, that's where the control panel comes in. They're monitoring data on temperature, pressure, ingredient ratios.
Whoa, so they're like the conductors of the soap symphony. They need to make sure everything is working in harmony.
A perfect analogy. Even the slightest change in temperature or pressure can throw the whole batch off. We're talking texture, lather, scent, the whole shebang.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility riding on those soap suds.
It really is. So they're constantly adjusting, troubleshooting, making sure those bars of soap come out perfect every time.
Sounds like a job that requires a unique skill set, technical know-how, but also that ability to react quickly and problem solve on the fly.
Absolutely. And that made me think, what kind of person thrives in that kind of role? What are the qualifications? Like, do you need a degree in soap making?
A degree in soap making, that would be pretty specialized.
I know, right? But seriously, what does it take to get into this line of work?
You'd be surprised it's not as niche as you might think. Well, some companies might be open to on-the-job training, especially for entry-level positions.
Okay, so you could potentially start from scratch.
Potentially. But it's definitely more common to see folks with some kind of technical background already under their belts. Think associate's degrees or vocational certifications.
In what? Like Soap Chemistry 101?
Not quite. More like chemical processing, industrial technology, even things like instrumentation and control systems.
Right, because it's all about those control panels and making sure everything's calibrated just so.
Exactly. And this is what I find really interesting from that RoleCatcher data. It really highlights the career potential in this field.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
So you might start as an entry-level operator, but with experience. And by, constantly learning and expanding your skills.
You can climb the soap ladder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher gave some really cool examples of people moving up to become supervisors, production managers, even transitioning into things like quality control or process engineering.
Wow, so from soap opera to soap executive.
Ah, I like that.
But seriously, that's pretty impressive. It just goes to show that even these specialized skills can really open doors you might not expect.
For sure.
So for anyone listening who's suddenly thinking, soap tower operator, that's my dream job. Rue, what would you say are the key skills or qualities that would make someone a good fit?
Well, a solid foundation in math and science is definitely a plus.
Of course, you're dealing with, what did you call it? Soap chemistry.
Well, maybe not a formal course, but definitely formulas, ratios, understanding how different ingredients react with each other.
Right, like a scientific soap opera. But beyond the science bit, what else?
Attention to detail is huge. Remember, even small changes can have a big impact on the final product. It's about consistency, making sure every bar of soap is up to par.
Like those artisan soap shops where each bar is like a little work of art.
Exactly. And just like an artist, a good soap tower operator has that eye for detail, knowing when something's not quite right. Plus, they need to be problem solvers. Because let's be honest, In a manufacturing environment, things don't always go according to plan.
Right, machines break down, alarms go off, soap suds everywhere.
Hopefully not the soap suds everywhere. But you get the idea. Things happen, and you need to think critically, figure out what's going on, and find a solution fast.
So you need to be cool under pressure, quick on your feet, a little MacGyver in the soap factory.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the human skills, but what about the elephant, or maybe the robot, in the room? Automation, it's changing everything. What does that mean for the future of soap tower operators?
Ah, the age-old question, right? Are robots coming for our soap?
Well, that's what we're here to find out. But seriously, it's a valid concern in this day and age.
It definitely is, and it's something that comes up a lot in manufacturing. But with soap making, I don't think it's quite as simple as robots taking over completely.
So it's not a case of humans versus machines, but more like, what, a partnership.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Automation can take care of those really repetitive tasks, like the things that need to be done the exact same way every single time.
So measuring out the ingredients, maybe controlling certain parts of the process?
Right, but that actually frees up soap tower operators to focus on those things that require a little more human touch.
So all those problem-solving skills we were talking about,
Yeah.
being able to think on your feet, adapt to unexpected situations.
All of that becomes even more crucial in a more automated environment because, let's face it, machines aren't perfect. They need a little guidance sometimes.
So it's almost like the role of the soap tower operator becomes even more high-level, more strategic.
Exactly. And again, this is a pattern we're seeing across a lot of industries. As technology evolves, it's not necessarily about replacing humans altogether.
But about changing how we work, the types of skills that are most valuable.
Absolutely. And in the case of soap making, I think that means we'll always need those skilled operators who can oversee the process, troubleshoot any issues, and ensure that those bars of soap are well.
Wobbly and bright.
Exactly.
That's a comforting thought. So for anyone out there who's feeling inspired to join the ranks of soap tower operators, the future's looking bright, maybe even a little bubbly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been fascinating. I never thought I'd be so captivated by the ins and outs of soap making. A huge thanks to RoleCatcher for giving us such an in-depth look at this surprisingly technical career, and to you, our listeners, for joining us on this deep dive into the world of soap tower operators. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and who knows what fascinating career paths you might uncover.